19 days to elections. Who are you voting for? Of course, your vote is your power. When you vote, make sure you go home and just stay glued to your television set. That is multimedia across the board. We have the TV, we have the radio. We'll give you news on radio, which is Joy 99.7, or you go to our Dome FM. If you want a TV as well, you have Joy Prime, you have Joy News, you have our Dome TV. All these stations will televise it for you. If you're in Kumasi, we'll also give it to you. So all you need to do, just vote and go home. Don't stay at the premises. Now, talking about that, today we have a lot that the newspapers are reporting. And so I'll start with the New Republic newspaper, the New Republic newspaper. And it reads, from riches to red, broke BOG moves into 4 billion luxury office after making 6.8 billion Ghana citizen losses in 2023 alone. Anger in Burma camp, 9 soldiers framed up, victimized and court-martialed under the pretext of refusing COVID-19 vaccination. Fake news, robots terrorize NDC, desperate Baumia camp fingered. Okay. The Daily Graphic newspaper is the next newspaper. The Daily Graphic newspaper. GSA uncovers unapproved material in mattress production. AG prosecutes 15 illegal mining cases. Ban surface mining statement to government. Sign onto Africa Responsible Mineral Sourcing Initiative, mineral-rich African countries urged. 2024 National Education Week launched, and that will be it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. Our next newspaper is the Economy Times. The Economy Times. BOG likely to hold policy rate. Job availability rises by 9.5% for first 7 months. FDA drops significantly both in volumes and value for first half in 2024. That's it for the Economy Times newspaper. And my last newspaper is the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and it reads, end Galamsey cases in 2024, Attorney General to court. Cholera kills 7 in central region. Wow. You know, we heard about the cholera outbreak, but it's now even more deadlier than we thought. 7 dead already. Let me read a bit of that. A total of 7 deaths out of 47 confirmed cases of cholera have been recorded in the central region. The number of suspected cases in the region, according to the regional health directories, as of yesterday, was 720. Wow. What are we not doing right? Wow. This is too alarming. And I think that this is, you know, this now brings me to why even yesterday we had to bring the Kole Lagoon conversation, because you know that these are some of the reasons why we are recording some of these cases. We are not being able to keep our environments as clean as we should. We are not eating from healthy environments. Food that is being used to cook, water that's being used to cook is contaminated. You eat contaminated food, you get the cholera and all of that. I mean, this is too alarming. So it says, briefing the media in Cape Coast, the Access Central Regional Health Director, Dr. Agnes Echama Anani, explained that 8 districts had recorded confirmed cases of cholera in the region. The district with the confirmed cases, she indicated, are Cape Coast, Ewutu Senya East, Gomwa East, Infantsiman, Heman, Lower Denchura, Efutu, and Aguna West. May God help us. May God help us. That's what I'll say. May God help us. Anyway, this one says, Ghana needs campaign financing framework to regulate spending. Oh, why do I agree with this? I do agree with it so much. Now, one of our biggest, conversations in Ghana, it's not just, this morning in Ghana, is Black Stars lost to Niger yesterday. Wow, 2-1. Who would have thought that Black Stars would lose to Niger in a critical game like that? And you know what? Sudan just sat down, didn't have to do anything, and qualified to the AFCON. Congratulations, Kwesi. Congratulations. And so this one says, Spinless Black Stars complete AFCON qualifiers winless. So the Black Stars of Ghana completed the AFCON 2025 qualifiers without a win, a new low in the annals of Ghana football. With qualification for the championship already confirmed for Angola and Sudan, the Black Stars needed a win to move from the bottom of the table. All we needed was to move from the bottom of the table, but no, we decided not to move. We decided to stay there. Can you imagine? So in the group, we had Angola, we had Sudan, we had Niger, and we still managed to be last in that group. What happened to our Black Stars? This is the Black Stars that we grew up knowing. What is wrong? What is going on? How can it be fixed? Because it looks like it keeps getting worse. And then we have the GFA boss, Keto Kweku, still opposed and saying that we should bring back the spirit. What spirit are we bringing back? What love are we bringing back? How have you fixed the problem? And for me, I was thinking that we put leaders there to fix the problem. If they can't fix it, why can't they leave? He should do the honorable thing, put in his resignation. If he can't do the job, allow somebody to do it. But I think that in this part of the world where we hail from, no, people cannot do that. And so we are losing and we still come out to tell the people, don't worry, we'll do it. But you see, because you are not supporting us, that's why we are losing, really. Really. It's sad. It's a sad time for Ghana Black Stars. It's a sad time for our football lovers. This year I haven't watched Ghana Black Stars match. Why? Because I can't take the heartbreak. Back then, the support was there, the love was there. I was one of the few who always wore a Black Stars jersey anytime Ghana had a match. Now I don't even know we have a match to even wear it. Because the love, how do we bring it back? Can something be done about it? Kurt, unfortunately, the most difficult thing that somebody can tell you is that you failed. But we are looking you in the face and we are telling you, you have failed. You have. Anyway, so that will be it for the newspapers. Now, earlier, I did mention to you that as we take a look at everything with regards to us going to the polls, Honorable Sam Okudzeto Ablakwa has alleged that over 22,000 expired rice was served to some schools in Ghana here under the free SHS policy, under the free school feeding policy. Now, he said that the food was contaminated or got expired in December 2023. However, it was rebagged and served to the children. He says that there was an initial investigation where these persons were arrested and investigation commenced. Out of that, these persons managed to rebag. These persons rebagged without an expiry date on there. And it was served. Now, when they were fined, they actually said they were going to pay 100,000 Ghana cedis in fine. However, they cannot even be located as of now. This is what Honorable Sam Okudzeto Ablakwa is saying. We do have a few messages. We'll take these messages, and you at home can also keep your messages coming in. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still and still, phone, prepare for you. Whatever gadgets you need, wherever you are looking to find your gadget, don't worry at all, because Franco Trading Enterprise has got all the gadgets for you. Is it mobile phones you want, television sets, CCTV cameras? Worry no more, because we've got you covered. Now, this one says that, in fact, when I hear Bawumia saying he will bring the dollar down to a certain amount of cedis when elected as president, I laugh. Why can't he do it now to win him more votes? From 4 cedis to 16 cedis per $1 per day. If Bawumia have any magic to bring it down, like he has done it long ago, so Bawumia should stop speaking like he's in opposition. This coming from Ablade Fiekuma. And he continues to say, in fact, everything has gone from bad to worse under the 8 years regime of Nana Bawumia's government because of partisan politics and hypocrisy. This Ablade again. Al-Hassan Sise from Zenu Central says that, good morning to everyone. This year's election is all about voting for someone who has a track record in building the nation than building political party. Ghanaians should vote for JM to reset Ghana for economic freedom and development for all Ghanaians. Dr. Bawumia should stop dancing to Paluta's song and create an app to stabilize the dying city and do something about the junk economy. one says, Afenyo Akin once said, we will go to court and play legal gymnastics in court and render a case foolish. Please beware of Afenyo Akin, because if the late Ikuadonko's picture is not removed from the ballot sheet and MPP loses this election, trust Afenyo to go to court and play legal gymnastics again to seek declaration of the 2024 elections null and void because of the presence of the dead people on the ballot sheet. Beware of Afenyo. This is coming from Patrick in Accra. Good morning, Joy Prime. Bawumia promising Ghanaians of abolishing duty tax on mobile phones is completely absurd. What has gone wrong? Can't he remove those taxes he has promised to scrap off now? Only a person who just returned from coma will vote for him. Okay. Good morning, beautiful. In fact, the NPP is a party that doesn't learn. In 2016, when the visionary leader John Mahama was building roads and commissioning other projects, the same NPP, who has nothing to show in 8 years, told Ghanaians that we don't eat roads and infrastructure. Yet today, they are everywhere making noise of constructing the same roads in 2024. The question is Samira Bawumia now sending roads and infrastructure to Malamata Market to buy tomatoes and onions, or what? If John Mahama lost power in 2016, with all the infrastructure, the NPP will lose come December 7th. President Kufuor only confirmed the failure of Nanado and the NPP, who should have completed his projects. Masaraman inside Solar. Okay, Tuna Solar. Good morning, everyone. The hardship in Ghana is getting out of hand. The LPG is too expensive. Human beings can't afford 3 square meals a day. Ghanaians are going to vote based on what is in their pockets. Let's vote for change. Philip from Qatar. Good morning, Roslyn. Ex-President Kufuor should give us a break. Did he continue what ex-President Rawlings did? President Mills continued some of his projects he was doing, like One Road, as a statesman. Roslyn, did you hear Kufuor saying anything about 8 people who died in 2020 elections? Did you hear him saying anything about the slap of MP Sam George? Did you hear him saying anything about the expiry rights for our children? Government campaign against his own government. He said we should vote for them. That's hypocrisy. This is from Kofi Darko, Cape Coast. All right, so this one says, good morning, Roslyn. When the fundamentals are weak, the AFCON qualifier will expose you. Francis from Isawom. And he continues to say, former President Kufuor is feeding well, so he doesn't know what is happening to ordinary Ghanaians under the NPP. A bowl of gari, which used to be 12 Ghana cedis under the NDC, is in 2016 is now 50 Ghana cedis under the NPP. And you want us to vote for Bawumia to increase it further to 80 Ghana. This from Mama T. Kaneshi. And then she continues to say, under John Mahama, we bought a bag of cement for 26 Ghana cedis, and we are now buying a bag for 100 Ghana cedis under Nana Bawumia. So will former President Kufuor pay us when we are buying it very expensive? Hillary from Afienya says so. Akonsi Gariba from Tamale says, good morning, Roslyn. President John Ajekum Kufuor observation about Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is perfect. He has the qualities of a good leader to be voted for on 7th of December 2024. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is focused and issue-based politician who stands tall among his competitors, and Ghanaians cannot miss this opportunity to vote for Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for his humility and down-to-earth leader with countless ideas that will develop Ghana. I will encourage the NDC, children with sharp teeth, to stop insulting President J.A. Kufuor. Vote Alhaji Dr. Bawumia. Good morning, my beautiful Roslyn. In fact, you need an award this year. Indeed, if 80% of Ghanaians believe that the country is moving in wrong direction, then the driver and his mates who are steering affairs must be booted out. At least the $8 million manhole could have created jobs for the youth in Ghana. Again, the millions which is under the bed of ministers can control the dollars. Never again for the failed economist and Kwame Nkrumah from Nanaya Techiman. Good day, Lady Roslyn. Mr. Kufuor is more guilty of vilifying past regimes as he collapsed their works like OSA, Ghana Airways, Valco, Ghana Telecom, etc. JAK didn't honor Chikota for setting up GNPC to discover oil, but rather packed the court to jail him. Dr. Yankee and Victor Salome, who died in prison for making the Aveime rice farm. We can't forget when Kufuor stopped UDS from honoring Rawlings. Kufuor also withdrew privileges for JJ and sent people abroad to retrieve his stolen wealth, which never existed. Okay. Good morning. Most of us are struggling to even eat. Life is very tough in Ghana now. Where is the economic messiah? Parliamentarians are belly full, so their only problem is where to sit in parliament. Childish intellectuals. It's like a day nursery school. We are suffering, then our childish leaders are on it again. I don't blame them. They have money. Okay, so this one says, how can Black Stars succeed in a failed government led by the failed Nanado? Under Nana, nothing is working. Simple. Master Raman, Sola, Tuna, Kalba. Right. Good morning, madam. Just view in while reading text, please. Who will help your motherland, Ghana? Yesterday, JDM was Asamankase to address us from Mutala. Okay. From the Office of the President down to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, everything has gone left. Dark days for our beloved country, Ghana, which now beats her belly and wails as the world makes fun of us. The state of our economy is simply disheartening. So, like we said yesterday, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa did make certain allegations with regards to some contaminated rice that was served to some students under the free SHS policy, under the free feeding policy as well. Want you to take a listen to what he said.
My investigation has revealed that the National Food Buffer Stock Company clearly conspired with a company known as Lamens Africa Investments Limited. And they used the buffer stock storage facility in Kumasi in the Ashanti region to repackage expired rice. They brought in rice from India. The brand is Moshosho rice, which expired in December 2023. That was the best before date. They then conspired with the buffer stock company to use their premises for rebagging. So they obtained different bags, this time with the inscription ECOWAS, made in Ghana rice, without an expiry date. And they transferred the expired rice into these bags. Fortunately, there was a tip-off to the Ashanti Regional Police Command and the FDA.
Right.
They moved in and sought to prevent the whole criminal conduct from continuing. So the police closed down the place. I have intercepted letters that the Ashanti Regional Police wrote to the FDA asking that the samples that they had retrieved from this criminal enterprise be tested. Will you believe that before the test results will arrive from Accra FDA on the 6th of February, instructions came from above that the expired contaminated rice should be distributed and sent to the schools. So as we speak, all the 22,000 bags of rice that the police sought to contain and confiscate have been sent to the schools. And I have the distribution list where schools, including my own alma mater, PRESEC, signed and received these rice.
Well, these are the allegations of Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Are these allegations true? Yesterday, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Frema Opare, also reacted to it. Let's hear what she had to say.
In Ghana is moving forward to catch up with the modern trends. We are not late. What we are doing is helping our students to have critical minds. So they create They are not just imbibing knowledge, but they are actually creating knowledge. And I think we need to support the education agenda that the government has. This transformative agenda is worth supporting.
But then the issue about some expired rights served to students, has it come to your notice, and are you worried about that?
It is, it is not true. So please, let us focus on things that move this country forward. I think this is our problem. We have good things. Look at what I've just seen. That should be your focus. How you advance the Ghanaian child, how you improve their opportunities so they become good citizens. Propaganda and rumor mongering has no place in education.
Propaganda and rumor mongering has no place in education. Those are the words of the Chief of Staff, Honorable Frema Opari. We don't know what you think about these allegations. Could they be true, or they are just a mere propaganda just to make the government unpopular? Well, definitely, you know that our eyes are on the ground, and we will let you know if it's true or not true due to, what is going on. And so we want you to also be a part of the conversation. Trust multimedia to bring you all the details with time. Now, we spoke with some parents as well and want to take a look at their reaction.
As a parent, for instance, like I'm standing here, I'm having 4 children. My own children are 2, the adopted one are 2. So I should be concerned.
Are there any in senior high school or have gone to senior high school?
Yes, one is already in senior high school. So especially when I heard about it, I'm highly worried, because what about if she comes home, started complaining, Daddy, this is what is bothering me. Then the little money that I've saved, I'll take her to hospital. The children, they be complaining about, already they be complaining about the food that they be eating at the school. So importing of rice, I don't think it's acceptable. The best way is for us to develop our own rice, like brown rice, our own local rice that we can use to feed our own children. And that one, we know that there's no any contamination on our food.
So my brother is actually in SHS 3, and hearing about this is very, very, very bad. It is not appealing at all. First of all, we know what expired foods can do to the body. Okay, from the president, he has subordinates. So I would say that the authorities should take actions for it. Exactly. How would you feel if your child, your brother, your daughter, or whoever comes out of your family, suffer from this negative effect of expired foods? So I want them to take action of it, yes. Being it FDA, the government as well. If you want to sue the person, you can take legal actions against the person.
You mean the parents?
Exactly.
The government have to do something about it, because that's why they are paying them. The food and drugs, but because of that, they are paying them. So they have to stop those things. They have to see to it that these things are not supposed to be sent to the schools, to our kids to use. Right now, we can't say there is a punishment, but they have to take them to hospital and check them. And check their health, that what they have consumed, is it good to my body?
They definitely have to check their health. But if this is true, then this is really, really concerning. But if it's not true, then the propaganda must stop. I'm here with my guest for this morning, representing the NDC this morning, is Godwin Ayaba Mahama. Hi, Godwin.
Hi.
How are you? It's been a while.
Yes.
Yes, I haven't seen you in a long time.
I've been out of Accra.
Campaigning, eh?
Yeah, campaigning. I actually went to Esojamai.
Okay.
That's where I was born and bred.
All right.
So usually I do go and come. But I left for about, I think, 3 months. Stayed there and I have to work. Because there is the need for us to get to the grounds and talk to the people why they have to retain Honorable Ampem Nyakun and not to bring the MPP candidate. So after that, I have come to Accra to stay. That's why you are now seeing me.
Welcome to Accra.
Thank you very much.
And representing the NPP this morning is our very own Honorable Ayepe. Honorable.
Ayepe.
Ayepe. Welcome.
If it don't sound the it gives you different pronunciation.
Okay, so it's Ayepe.
Yes.
Good. How are you, though?
Fine, by please.
Great. We thank
I love
God.
your white shirt.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Good.
Thank you. Honorable and Godwin. Now, the allegations are made by Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa about 22,000 bags that were expired rice that had been served to the free senior high school students under the free feeding policy. The allegations are quite alarming. Honorable Fremo Pari has come out to debunk it. But of course, you have seen, the video circulating. You've also listened to what he had to say on radio on Joy 99.7. I need to take your reactions from it. So I'll start with you, Godwin.
Rosalind, let me say a very good morning to your viewers. Good morning to my...
good morning.
Honorable Ayepe.
Honorable Ayepe.
Yes.
Okay. I have to pronounce it well.
You have pronounced it. You still have some lessons.
I still have some lessons.
Rosalind, I have seen some of the footages. I have read some of the correspondence. And I am really shocked at what I came across. If indeed what I read is the fact on the grounds. But I have no doubt about the document I read and the footages I saw, simply because so far no government official has been able to debunk.
Oh, we have Honorable Fremo.
I know, don't worry, I'll go there. Has been able to debunk with a counter documentation.
Okay.
I read that of the chief of staff, who just made a raw statement by saying we should debunk the allegation without proving with or adducing extra fact to counter what Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa said, because allegations of this nature requires concrete proof to say that what Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa is saying is untrue, but not just by word of mouth to say what he's saying is untrue. When the person has issued and brought out documents which has not been disputed so far. And some of the documentation he brought out is that, you see, the Lamens company wrote to FDA somewhere on the 4th of December.
2023.
2023, requesting for an extension of the shelf life of the rice, which is Mososho rice. What that means is that the best before date, which is the expiring date, had expired. That is best before. That means even, normally what I know is that we are usually advised that when you buy a product which is about 3 months to 8 expiration, you don't even need to consume that product. That's what I was advised. But this one, the actual date of expiration had elapsed, and they needed an extension.
So wait, from what you know is that 3 months to time,
yes,
you don't
yes,
you don't
because
eat it.
You see, it is full of chemicals. Most products bagged and packaged are full of chemicals. So normally it is advised that 3 months to 8 expiration.
So that's the advice that you have from your
yes,
people.
Yes,
okay.
You don't even take it. So when they wrote to FDA for an extension of the shelf life of the rice, on the 20th, the FDA and the Ghana Police Service in Ashanti region realized that even though they have not granted the approval of the extension, the company had begun the rebagging of the product using the National Buffer Stock Company's storage facility in Ashanti region in doing the rebagging. That was on the 20th of December last year. On the 21st, the Ghana Police Service, the Ashanti Regional Command, wrote officially to the FDA, giving them sample of the rice to take it through the test for us to ascertain the wholesomeness of the rice. And the correspondent from the FDA, dated 29th of December, came out clear with 3 recommendations. One was for them to move in to stop the ongoing rebagging. 2, to make sure the rice is disposed of, because the test indicated that the rice was unwholesome for consumption. And the 3rd one was to fine the company, because they have gone through they have gone against the rules or the law. So those were the 3 recommendations that the FDA gave out. Then fast forward, the FDA started having some calls from above, trying to tie their hand in doing the right thing. So at the end, they have to succumb to some of those calls.
How?
And that is why at the end...
If you say that, can you explain
That is why at the end, even though on the 28th of December, their own correspondent indicated that 1, they had to move to stop the rebargain. 2, they have to dispose of the rice. And 3, they have to fine the company for going against the law. Despite all that, later the company were given the approval to do the rebargain. So the question then ordinary people will ask is, what happened in the first correspondent and what later happened that they needed to now give the approval for the rebargain?
Can I read something for viewers out there? I want viewers to understand what best before is and expiry date is. And best before indicates quality. It refers to the date by which the product is expected to maintain its best flavor, texture, and overall quality of stored properly. Safe to consume after the date. Most products are still safe to eat after the best before date, though their taste or texture may deteriorate. Commonly found on non-perishable items like snacks, canned food, and dry goods. Now, expiry date, it indicates safety. It refers to the date after which the product is no longer guaranteed to be safe to be consumed or used. Should not be consumed under a certain date. That's the consuming product past the expiry date may pose health risk, especially for perishable goods like dairy, meat, or medications found on highly perishable items or products with specific safety requirements. So in short form, best before means it focuses on the quality, safe to consume, but possibly not at its best. So you might be able to consume it, but it might not be at its best. So the taste and all of that. And then expiry focuses on the safety and should not be consumed after that date. So those are the two.
Okay, so Rosalind,
yeah.
I have heard you read or read the definition of both words. But what you must understand is that the test made by FDA came out with these 3 effects on the rice. That 1, it has high fat acidity. 2, it has high insect infestation. And 3, it is contaminated. So even though there are instances where before expiry date, you could consume some of the product, in this instance, the body responsible to ascertain whether products...
A minute more to make your point.
Whether products are still allowed to be consumed, came out with these 3 effects on the rice. And the most striking part of the whole story is that the company, which is Lamens African Investment Limited, ended up bagging the rice, 1, without putting any expiration date on the rice, the new bagged rice. 2, they changed the original manufacturing country because it was initially imported from India, but after bagging, they now labeled it made in Ghana, which for me is criminal because if you and I are consuming a product as we have been encouraged to eat made in Ghana product and ends up realizing that that product is unwholesome, we are by way of such act discouraging people from consuming made in Ghana product. In short, Rosalind, these things should not be taken lightly because the act is inhuman.
All right, I'll definitely come back to
you.
young
ones are those who are going to consume those products.
All right.
And we must make sure they take wholesome food rather than such product.
All right, I'll definitely come back to you. And so let me go to Honorable Aipe to take his reaction on the issue so far.
Let me say good morning to your viewers, including my friend here, and also to the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who on Thursday will inaugurate about 80 completed projects to the Ghana Education Service for onward handover to the heads of institutions, educational institutions, to be used by the students, and also to the vice president, who's also the running mate of the MPP. He's still on his tour in the Ashanti region. We are seeing the videos and the pictures. The numbers is very huge. Our intention to have around 85% vote from the Ashanti region this time around. After there are almost 3.3 million votes in the Ashanti region is ongoing, and we think we are going to get there. Yes, in Ayensuano, we are also doing very well. From Thursday, I'll get myself, I'm already involved in helping the campaign, but I'll go grounds myself to support the PC, Honorable Aida, to make sure that MPP will take over the Ayensuano seats again. Yes, when they say the food is expired or bed before time, it is bed before time. What it simply means is that when the food is consumed after the bed before time, some of the nutrients of the food will be lost. Some of the aroma, the quality will definitely come down. That is why when you go to some supermarkets and some shops, you see that when it's about 3 months to the bed before time, they put them on sales. So when they say 3 months to bed before time, it's not necessarily mean that you can't eat it. It's still wholesome. They put it for sale because they don't want to keep it and then until the bed before time. So when they're about 3 months to bed before time, they do reduction sales and make sure that the product is sold so that they don't lose the product. And also, a product can be kept within bed before time, but if it's not kept properly, the product may end up losing the quality of it. I'm doing a program on logistics and transportation, MSc, Logistics and Transportation Management at the University of Ghana Business School. And one of our lectures, we are looking at how goods are transported. Within even the period in which we are transporting the goods from one point to the other, if it is not kept well, before the goods will get to its destination that must expire, you will see the expiring date not yet the time, but the food will not be wholesome. So when we talk on unwholesome food or products, it is not only about the bed before time date, it is how you even hold or let's say keep the product, store it, that's the right way. Store the product is really important. That is why when you go to Tama Harbor, you see these containers that are connected, how it's being refrigerated, so that whilst the goods in it will still, we call it roofer containers. So these are things that, especially edible goods, food that we eat must be handled very well. So in this case, yes, I heard what the Chief of Staff just said, that yes, it's not true, they haven't received any such report. I have to be frank with you. Those documents that my friend is referring to, that Okudzeto Ablakwa has been able to bring them out, I haven't seen them personally. Okay. So I will not be able to speak much about. But yesterday I was on the other network, I was listening to Okudzeto Ablakwa on phone on the station on one side, and then the Deputy Minister for Education, Reverend Ntim Fodjo, also on the other side. They were debating these issues, in fact. And then I heard the Deputy Minister of Education, Daring Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, that he has any authentic document to suggest that the students have consumed any unwholesome food. He should bring it to their office, and they are ready to investigate. Because when they heard the issue, they tried to find out how true the issue is. He claims the Food and Drugs Authority have written to the company, say Lamen or whatever. They've asked them, the Food and Drugs Authority, to give them a copy of the letter. That's the ministry. They've asked the Lamens to give them a copy to compare to what Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa has put on air to find out whether it is authentic or not. Up to now, they haven't received anything from the company. So their investigation proved beyond all reasonable doubt that it's not true that unwholesome food had been distributed to students. We know how dangerous this is if indeed such
it's
food
true,
has
right?
been,
Yeah.
given
I
to
think
the
what is
students.
making people, quite alarmed is the fact that they did go to the FDA, which the PRO for Ministry of Education confirmed that they went to the FDA in December for an extension. So it makes people feel, okay, why are you going for an extension if it's wholesome?
I'm hearing for the first time in a situation where FDA can look at a food with which the product, the producer or the food says, my product expired this date. Then Food and Drugs Authority will come in and say, no, you are the manufacturer. But I see it is when the best before time date is not due that people are having maybe questions on the wholesomeness of the food. It is there that Food and Drugs Authority can come in and say that, look, the product is not expired, the expiring date is not due. But let us look at whether indeed out of storage, the product is not well kept. Then, of course, Food and Drugs Authority comes in here. But when it is an expired food, when you see the date on it, best before time is due, I don't see the work of Food and Drugs Authority in here. So I am of the view that we should still continue investigating this to know how true this is. But we have to also be very careful when such issues comes out. And investigation is being going on, and we have only about 3 weeks to elections, and we know how the NDC is surely against the free senior high school. And they want to do everything to make sure that they truncate this pro-poor policy which Ghanaians are benefiting. So they will do everything within their domain to make sure that Ghanaians will not benefit from the free senior high school. Some of us who had it very difficult to get secondary education and beyond. At my age, and though I've done 1 master's already, but my age, I'm still doing master's. It means it tells you how I have my education in thoughts. Maybe due to the fact that my parents were not having school enough money to take care of me when I was in school, so I have to do it in thought, do the secondary education, and then go and have some work, do my first degree, and I'm now doing my master's. So when my children, 3 of them, they've had the opportunity to have this free senior high school. If there's something bad about it, yes, we must talk about it. If something that needs concrete criticism, we must do it. But when we are saying things to achieve political gains, and I don't know who's advising the NDC, the more you want to tarnish the free senior high school policy and make it bad, the more that parents who are benefiting from this free senior high school are thinking that you don't like them, you don't want their children to benefit from free senior high school. And the fact is that up north, the 5 northern regions had free senior high school right from the time of Kwame Nkrumah, when they had this scholarship scheme for secondary school education. Why those of us in the middle belt and the coastal belt were suffering? And now this is the time that somebody has come and said, let us spread this, let us make it so that everybody, including even those 5 northern regions, those in the middle belt, those in the coastal belt, will also benefit from free senior high school. And some people have tried to crack water out of stone to make sure that they tarnish this policy of free senior high school. Okay, so I just want to read what Kwesi Kwarteng said on Joy. He said that the Food and Drugs Authority has declared the rice which was distributed to schools as wholesome for consumption. Now, he further says that the rice had not expired despite the MP's continued claims. He explained that the FDA did not fine laments for distributing unwholesome food, but rather for failing to obtain FDA approval before repackaging the rice. So the question is, why repackage? Yeah, for repackaging, when you are doing logistics, repackaging does not mean the food has expired. At times, the containers, I've seen a lot of. Is that not what is making people feel that there's some iota of truth in there? You can have the feel. Yeah. But when it is a matter of repackaging, when an imported product is brought into the country and you want to repackage, you can't do repackaging without writing the Food and Drugs Authority. Because there are some inscriptions on the package that Food and Drugs Authority inspects at the point before you bring the goods in. Before you can bring any product that is consumable in terms of eating the food. Food and Drugs Authority must give you approval before you can even bring the product. So even when the product comes into the port, they still have to take sample into their lab to make sure that, yes, the lab will tell them whether the food is wholesome for us to eat. 2, they look at the inscription and make sure that, yes, all the the requirements that needed per the Food and Drugs Authority law is met before you bring the product in. So when the product comes in and maybe out of handling and many other things, the package need to be repackaged, or say the product need to be repackaged, you have to write to Food and Drugs Authority, because definitely when you are going to do the repackaging, you may not get the package containers from the product, so you have to design your own thing. And it must go contrary to what Food and Drugs Authority inspected before you brought the product in.
Okay.
So they have to come in and agree with the new package before you put in the package. And they must also inspect that, yes, the old package in which you are transferring to has not have any inscription that shows that the food has expired. And because of maybe mishandling of the food, the package, the container has gone bad. They have to ensure that if it has gone bad, it has not affected the product itself.
All right, I'll come back to you, Honorable, your time. Just a few things that, you know, is making people feel, even if it's not true, will believe in it, because the question here is, why repackage? Honorable has explained that maybe they're transporting and everything, but repackaging it to a made-in-Ghana product when it's not a made-in-Ghana product becomes a little worrying. Repackaging without a best before date or an expiry date on it is another alarming conversation. And so it makes, even if the goods were wholesome, then people still question, why repackage from an Indian product to a made-in-Ghana product, and also refusing to put an expiry date on it? What is the reason? What is the motive behind it? So, you know, sometimes you might have your facts right, everything is okay, but out of certain acts of yours, it could raise eyeballs. Godwin.
Rosalind, you see, in my first submission, I made the viewers to understand that on the 4th of December, Lamens wrote officially to FDA, seeking for FDA to look at the product and give them and extend the shelf life of the rice. What that means is that it had expired. When we say shelf life, the expiring date.
Best before, it could be best before.
Date. I don't have a problem.
There are two different things.
But there was a request for an extension. And that is a question we must all ask, and Honorable must be interested in. Because why would the company request for an extension of the shelf life of the product? That is what we must all ask. And two, I would have to be soft with Honorable simply because he has said he hasn't seen the document Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa has put out. But what we must all, or what we can all authenticate is that the Ministry of Education has not disputed any of the documents. They have also agreed that there was such an official correspondence between Lamens and the FDA for an extension. What they are now telling us is that the FDA did not recommend that the food wasn't unwholesome. But I've told you that on the 29th of December report of the FDA indicated certain effect on the rice. And that we must take seriously. And that is why the minority caucus in Parliament is requesting for a forensic audit and an investigation into this whole thing. Honorable Epe, you see, sometimes when I listen to some of your communicators make certain comments, I pardon them. But I'm so surprised, Honorable will repeat same, that the NDC, we are against the free SHS. That is untrue. And consistently, they keep repeating this palpable lie that the NDC is against free SHS. How on earth can we cancel something we inserted in the 1992 Constitution? Article 25 indicates clearly that we must get to a point in this country where the children must enjoy free SHS. Two, we can also not cancel something we started. And let me take you to this publication. I think my joy, no, this is Modern Ghana, dated 11th August 2020. Akufo-Addo government clears 30.1 million free SHS debt under NDC. If the NDC did not start free SHS...
You did progressive free SHS.
I don't have problem with that, but there was something in place. If we hadn't started free whether progressive or wholesale, there wouldn't have been debt.
No, there's no or. It is you started progressive.
And I'm saying that.
So if you say whether progressive or wholesale, it's as though you started wholesale.
No
you
problem.
did progressive.
They said there are so many ways to kill a cat. We decided to start with day students. They came and decided to start with first years. Because in the year 2017, the second years and third years then did not enjoy the free SHS. It was only first years. So we all did it progressively. But they decided to couch theirs free SHS without being truthful to the Ghanaians.
Oh, how?
I'm saying that truthful in the sense that when Akufo-Addo went to Ekwapemai, the school he went stood and declared his policy to give free SHS. He never said that when I come, I'll start from first years. He said all students in the secondary school are going to enjoy. But when they came, what did we see? It was only first years who enjoyed. Second years and third years then were not included in the free SHS. Eventually, they also did it progressively. My point is that if we haven't started something, there wouldn't have been debt. What we have said time without number is that it is a fact that the SHS the kids are enjoying now, there are a lot of teething problems in it, which is a fact. Parents are complaining. Journalists are complaining. Even we, those who don't have...
Journalists are bringing the information.
You are equally complaining because most of you also have your kids there. Maybe because you think you are a journalist, when you want to be factual, to say that you are a witness to some of the problems, they will think you are against MPP. You would have to come in that manner. But most of you are equally complaining. What we have said is that when giving the nod, God willing 2025, we will make sure we solve the problems. Some of the problems are one. They told us double track was a temporary measure, which was going to last for only 5 years. It has lasted for 8 years. John Mahama and the NDC are saying that when we come, we are going to make sure double track will be a thing of the past by making sure we build additional infrastructure and continue with the 200 E-blocks that we started during his era. 2, we are going to give a dedicated fund. As we speak, there is no dedicated fund to fund free SHS. We have said that we are going to dedicate a percentage of our oil revenue channeled to fund free SHS so that nobody comes to say that at this point in time we have money, at this point in time we don't have money, and the children will go through difficulty. We must have a dedicated fund. And most parents and stakeholders under education have lauded that policy.
Okay.
2, and the last one, 3, and the last one is that as we speak, the government has centralized the school feeding program where everything is done from one source. We are saying we will come and decentralize the school feeding program, which is the feeding to the secondary school children, by giving back the power to the school authorities for them to make sure they see to the purchase and the procurement of the school product, food product to the children. So that some of these issues, some of this unwanted and inhuman act by this government will be a thing of the past.
All right,
so the long and short is that, Honorable Epe, maybe you are only pretending not to have heard that consistently the NDC have said that free SHS, no human, no political party can come and cancel it.
All right,
it has come to stay today,
all right,
and it will forever remain in this country.
Thank you very much. Honorable Epe.
Double track was introduced by Honorable Educhum when more students, most parents enrolled their children to school, especially those who were not able to afford to pay fees. They enrolled their children into the school, and the number became so huge. Then Honorable Educhum said in US, when they had a free senior high school,
Double track started under NAPO. Under NAPO, not Educhum.
I'm coming, let him finish.
Same incident happened.
I'm coming.
Then he introduced the double
But
track.
the corrections needs to be made.
So double track is not 8 years.
Double track is how many years?
It's around 5 years now.
But I remember I had a young girl who was in secondary school.
And in 2017, they were having double track.
She was in
SHS
school.
itself started from 2017.
Yeah, she was in
And
school
double
from
track
2018.
came in, I think, 4 years after that.
No.
So how come somebody who had education in 2017 had double track?
She started school in 2018.
Double
and
track,
she faced
the
double
last
track.
group who were having a double track
Right.
end this academic year. So after the end of the academic year, there will be no double track. 2, how can you say that the free senior high school has not been introduced by the MPP because it is already in the Constitution, and the Constitution says so, but the NDC introduced free senior high school progressively. That one, it wasn't the Constitution who asked them to do that. But we said free senior high school. The Constitution says students should have free education.
We placed it in.
And then you said your government started it and not MPP. Have you forgotten that you were the same person who said it is in the Constitution? Have you forgotten that free senior high school was partly introduced by Kwame Nkrumah in the Up North? What we are saying is that the kind of free senior high school we are practicing today, which is holistically free, and every child of school-going age who have completed BEC will have free senior high school, of which 5.7 million people have benefited. It started by the MPP. You can talk of the Kwame Nkrumah Free Senior High School. It is of its kind. Nobody will say that during the time of Nkrumah, those in the Up North were not having free school as free secondary education. They had. Even in your time. That was why that's what gave us enough ground to say that Ghanaians should be very careful with the NDC. When they come, they will cancel the free senior high school. When we came, the Northern Region grant for senior high school in the 5 Northern Region were in debt. NAPO came to clear those debts. Even what Kwame Nkrumah introduced for the Northerners, with the president then was a Northerner, was not able to pay the grant for them to enjoy free senior high school. On several occasions, we heard that senior high schools in the 5 Northern regions have closed down simply because the grant was not forthcoming. So what we are saying is that Ghanaians be very careful. Even when the NDC was in power and the president was from the Northern region, he was not able to sustain the Kwame Nkrumah Free Senior High School Up North for only 5 regions. There were even 3 regions then. He couldn't sustain them. Now, the regions are 5. Now, we've been able to introduce or open new free high schools in the 5 Northern region. Yet, we make sure that every Ghanaian of a secondary school age is having free senior high school. That's the difference between what Kwame Nkrumah started and what NDC think they started. Even yes, they were having this progressive thing with some day students. When we came, they were debt. We came to clear those debts that they left behind. So here are saying it, that we have come to clear it. So Ghanaians should be very careful. It is the NDC have.
Every government leaves debt, right?
Yes, but not when.
But the NPP's debt is a bit higher now.
Somebody came to pay.
So whoever takes over in 2024,
debt, others came to pay.
Yeah.
Kufuor debts, others came to pay.
And another debt, somebody will also pay.
That is why we are telling them that the debt they left behind, we have come to pay. So if Ghana is saddled with debts, it is part of what they left behind. Look, yesterday I was on another network. Kufuor left 26% debt to GDP. The NDC raised it to 56% debt to GDP. It makes a difference of 30% percentage point, what they added, if you look at the percentage point to GDP. Now, when we came, now debt to GDP in Ghana is 82%. When you subtract 56 from 82, you have 26%. So the percentage point that we, the MPP, have added to the national debt is 26%, as compared to the other 30 percentage point that they added. So now that you agree with me that every government leaves debts, they shouldn't forget that they added 30 percentage point to GDP to our debt, and we are paying it now. Most of the 26% that we added has not even due for payment, especially
but
the
Ghana
principal.
is in a lot of debt.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why we had to do this DDEP thing.
Exactly.
We
and we are doing it because of their 30%. Our 26% that we've added alone cannot let us go to debt restructuring. We are going to debt restructuring today because of 30 plus 26. Because of 30 plus 26. They are talking as if the restructuring we are doing has nothing to do with the borrowing that they did. But we are doing restructuring today.
Has the NPP borrowed more than the NDC?
I've shown you the figures.
No, I'm just asking. Under the NDC, the borrowing...
No, you see, that is why they always don't want to do the percentage to GDP. And every economist will tell you that because of GDP varies. Because you can expand your GDP, the economy can grow. When it grows, the GDP expands. So anytime you want to compare debt to GDP. Because the GDP today may not be GDP tomorrow. And it will be different from GDP yesterday. So anytime we have debt, compare it to GDP.
But I guess, most Ghanaians that watch us
say that Ghanaians, listen to me. I'm looking into the cameras and I'm telling you that the NDC is against the free senior high school. And they are doing everything to make sure that they get power. When they get power, they are going to cancel the free senior high school. And as a parent, ask yourself, will you be able to get money to take your children to secondary school? Now, today, if you have a senior high school education, at any given time that you have money, you can proceed to go to university or whatever that you can. As I sit here, I'm saying it. Now, I'm now doing my master's. If I have not had opportunity to have secondary and then university education, I will not be sitting down here and say that I'm going to do my master's. So try and vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to sustain the free senior high school. You know all what they are doing. Look, the pictures you've shown here. Yes, the pictures alone cannot tell us whether the food the children were doing wholesome or not. But at least when you look at the pictures, you could see that the quantity is okay. There's enough stew on it. There's meat or chicken on it. As compared to what former President Mahama is going around saying that the children are even
all right. So I want to clear something. I just want to clear something. We need to stick to our topic with regards to the food. But I just want to clear something. So I went to fact check Ghana. And every time we come on here, we want everybody to know what the fact really is. We don't want, misinformation. So fact check says that within the 8 years, 2008 to 2016, under the late John Evans Atta Mills and John Mahama's leadership, the country borrowed 112 billion Ghana cedis. Let me put it like that, because sometimes the figures, when you see them, it's a bit high. 112 billion Ghana cedis. Now, Mahama's share of the debt during his tenure was 86 billion Ghana cedis. I'm just clearing the air because I want us to delve into our topic, but just to clear the air here. And then when we come here, in 5 years, the Nanado-led government has added over 400 billion cedis to the country's debt stock. And so it says here that in 5 years, Nanado-led government, that's the NPP government, has borrowed over 400 billion Ghana cedis. So this, I'm just saying fact check. I just want to read on
but
fact
you can't stop me from explaining the facts that
she will come to you.
You are doing the fast check because of what I said, isn't it?
Yes.
And the reason why I always have problem with you don't listen to me.
What do you mean?
Listen to me.
No, Honorable, don't say that to me.
Listen to me carefully. I said, NDC always running away from debt to GDP. And that is why debt of every country is valued. So debt to GDP tells you that Kufuor left 26% to GDP.
Honorable.
And then NDC left it at 56%. You have a time to talk. Wait, 56% to
Rosalind,
GDP. And we have moved it to 82% to GDP.
He exhausted his time.
The difference between is 30% versus our 26%. Now, when you come out and say 400 billion, convert that into dollars. That is why what they do. Because the exchange rate is 16 to CD, they multiply it by the debt that is borrowed, the Eurobonds. And then with that, they'll have 400. Then they'll come and borrow what they have borrowed to their time when the CD was about 4.2, and they put the figures here. So the economists will tell you that because exchange rate is a factor, because debt to GDP is a factor, don't call the figure, the nominal figure as you have just said, but compare it to GDP.
Did I write this?
No, you
so don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
So,
please let me move on.
If indeed want to be factual, if indeed you are checking
let's move on. I read from an online source. Don't honorable I pay. Don't please. I didn't write this. It's a fact. It was a research fact. Please. Let's not go in there. Please continue. Make a point. Godwin, please take your head and make a point.
You see, fact is checked by putting it to GDP.
May the good Lord bless you. You see how uncomfortable.
You see how
uncomfortable he is.
I am not.
The question. Let's stick to our topic.
Don't worry. Before we start, let me clear this.
Let's stick to our topic.
Rosalind, I'm so saddened by the explanation of Honorable Ayepe using an exchange rate as a factor to tell us that today we exchange CD in dollar for 16 CDs. Now who caused them? What was the promise? When you came, it was $1 4 CD 20 pesos.
And then you multiply it by
wait.
You multiply it by
let's stick to the topic. 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 Let's stick to the topic.
It is good we give better information because that has
multiply it by 4.
As at the time you were saying we had overborrowed and used as a campaign. You equally the simple way to determine a party's or a government's rate of borrowing is still multiply it by that party's, as at the time, the exchange rate. So if we were able to manage it well, and it was $1 to 4 CD pesos, and today your mismanagement has moved it from 1 CD and $1 to 4 CD pesos to $1 to 16 CD. Now who calls it is an indication that Baumia's promise to fight the dollar has failed.
That topic.
But
let's go into our topic. Let's go into
when you go to the same, when you go
let's go into the topic.
I'm going there.
And it's the same.
Let me talk. When you go to the same fact check, it will dispute the MPP's narrative that Honorable Ayepe has equally reiterated here. Honorable Ayepe has reiterated that over 5 million students have enjoyed the free SHS. It is factually inaccurate. When you look at from 2017,
can we stick to our food
from the year 2017 to 2024, per the Ministry of Finance, students who have enjoyed the free SHS is a little above 3.2 million.
All right.
So they should stop peddling false
news
and stick.
Can I read some messages? Can I read some messages? Please read some messages.
In short,
I need some messages, please. I want to read. Let me read some messages. I'll let you go into the topic. You go into the topic.
You're not allowing me to expose
you continue.
How can you expose me?
Most of the things you said,
let me read a few messages.
I'm true.
That's because the Constitution says so.
Don't forget, I was on before you left.
Started free senior high school. How can you?
You have accepted all. You accepted all. Agreeing that you paid debt.
You have
agreeing that you paid debt.
All right. So this one says, "Good morning, Rosalind. I wonder if Akufo-Addo controlled EC led by Jean Mensah did mathematics in school, as every now and then the commission makes egregious mistakes in their calculations. The Jean Mensah-led EC is incompetent and useless as they have failed to manage the commission well. About the expired rights for the SHS students, Akufo-Addo will not heed to a clarion call for investigation, so the least said about it, the better." Okay, so let me start from the top. I want to start from the top and go down. Akonsi Gariba from Tamale. Good morning, Madam Rosalind. Mr. Ablakwa and the NDC are bent on cancelling the free SHS in Ghana by fabricating expired rights allegation to make the free SHS look bad. For the NDC to cancel it, if Ghanaians made a mistake and vote the NDC into power, come December 7th, 2024, the NDC will cancel the free SHS. I urge Ghanaians to vote wisely to keep the free SHS for the Ghanaian children forever. This one says, "Good morning, beautiful Rosalind and your cherished viewers. As we approach closer to December 7 polls, we pray for God's peace over our motherland, Ghana. Rather, let's vote wisely to out the burden of our current situation and go for a change. Rosalind, I admire how you handle heating issues, but tell Mr. Ayepe, Honorable Ayepe, to stop interrupting and ensure order of communication. My greetings to Ayaba." Okay. This one says, "Good morning, host. Tell Mr. Ayepe that if parents cannot pay for the awards, if the free SHS is cancelled, what will they do when they go to the tertiary level?" Teacher Kujo Tepa Ayenswano says, "So Alan Martin was expecting that Akufo was going to endorse him. He's clearly frustrated." Okay, so we are not talking about Alan today, unfortunately. NDC will never cancel the free SHS. Look at, okay. Honorable Ayepe, this one too you are defending. Obviously, your hold is not part of not you want to defend. And you, NPP, will say NDC wants to tarnish the free SHS. It has expired and repacked. Simple. Children are involved, and therefore the criticisms are to make free SHS better and not to tarnish the image. Rosalind, please ask Mr. Ipe if will not leave debt for any other government to pay. I'm a parent. Mr. Man, you are not my eyes or my mouth or ears. Say whatever you are going to opposition. Please, we are not eating GDP. We are spending money. Please let Mr. Ipe know that the free SHS started in 2017 and double track started in 2018. Still, the government owes a lot in terms of money to be paid to schools. Recurrent is not being paid. I work in SHS and I know what I'm saying. My daughter was in SHS in 2018, so I know that in 2018, she was in double track. Anyway, are you talking of the rise of free SHS? The former MP is diverting the issue. Good morning, Rose. See this, our leaders should stop deceiving us and tell us the truth. Okay, so this one says, Rosalind, please watch the video. You see the repacking and expiry date on the old pack. Okay, we hear you. We'll take a look at it later, not now. Good morning, Rosalind. My humble plea question: is there an institution in Ghana today that has integrity? Number one, and now FDA of India cherish the lives of Ghanaians than our FDA poisonous. Number two, Yoko on Cecilia Dapa issue. Security services on Galamsey and conflicts clap down. Okay. So let me see the next one. You see how my brother is suffering to explain how free SHS policy started in 2017. How then do you expect students who gained admission in 2015 and 2016 to be part? It's illogical. My brother should stop the lies. NDC never started free SHS. Mahama once said free SHS cannot be implemented under a whimsical promise of a desperate politician. How then do you tell us that Mahama started it? President Anado implemented it and Ghanaians are happy about it. Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa should stop the allegations. Ghanaians are wise and will vote wisely. Master Planner. Okay, so Madam Host, good morning. Please spare your discussion. This thing happened last year, December. To why now, if not to vote? 7th December is at the corner. We'll cry, Papa, from Ishmael. Ishmael, I didn't understand what you were trying to say. Okay. Honorable Ayepe, you are speaking political than nationalistic. Please, do you think if the company was having documents different from what Honorable Ablakwa has, they will still be quiet till now? When NPP say it's not true, then it is true. Today, Mr. Ayepe is the best. Honorable, thank you for allowing your opponent to make his point today. Master Rahman Tunasola. Okay. Hello, Rosalind. Please kindly ask Mr. Ayepe why he's defending the indefensible. Ask him why rice made in India has become rice made in Ghana. Where the ambition of our politicians gone? Should all of us die because of their cheap politic interests? Amweni from Asamankese said, if you want to be the president in Ghana, it's not insulting your opponent. So former president and NDC should know that whether you like it or not, Dr. Bawumia is our next president. Regards to Frank Esiedu. Okay. Good morning, Madam Rosalind, your panelists. I'm Daniel from Esigri in Tempane in the Upper East region. Please, why should we import rice that has expired to feed our kids in school? When you go to Navrongo and Fumbisi area, we have a large quantity of rice being left in the field to rot or fire destroy it simply because we don't have combined harvesters to harvest the which is fresh from the field to feed our kids. You can call me for more details about rice, these areas I mentioned. This one says, what is Honorable Ayepe saying that NDC will cancel free SHS? This is a lie. Rosalind, please ask the NPP whether that wasn't the criteria they were using to calculate the debt. They are very dishonest. Which of the criteria are you talking about? You're talking about the dollar to the CD ratio? Good morning, Rosalind. I wonder if Akufo-Addo controlled EC-led. Okay, I think I've already read this one. Sami Boachi from Asamankese says that assets the fellow Ghanaians must safeguard the free SHS policy originally introduced during Nana Bawumia's 2016 NPP-led campaign. Notably, the NDC, led by Bahama, initially dismissed this initiative as impossible. Fellow citizens are urged to vote for Dr. Bawumia and the NPP to sustain these innovative policies, with Dr. Bawumia listed first on the ballot. Regards to Honorable Charles. Okay. Good morning, Rosalind. Free SHS is a good intervention for the poor and the needy. However, some aspect of it it's more of a scam. Could you imagine students skip meals? We termed it 010, meaning they eat only one in the afternoon once a day. Sometimes heads of senior high schools do improvise because failure to do that will result in most of them being in the hospital. Whosoever comes to power should seriously work around the components of the free SHS. There is no place to stand as a facilitator to facilitate. Dormitories are overcrowded to the extent that the dormitories have been extended to classrooms. I'm speaking facts. I'm not a politician, and I don't know what will coerce me to blindly follow these politicians. Any party that makes it to the top should think about the country, but not their pockets. They come to national television to defend their pockets. Shame on them. No integrity. Just coming from Eunice. Okay, so I think that'll be all for our messages for now. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still and still, phone papa whatever gadgets you are looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, we have all of them for you. All you need to do is to download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still, phone papa. All right, so I think Lamens has issued, there's something coming in. Let me quickly check what is coming in. Okay, so there is this. It's dated February 9th, 2024. Lamens Investment Africa Limited request for rebagging and supply of Moshosho White Double Polished Saltex Indian Rice, 25% broken. And it reads, I'm writing on behalf of Lamens Investment Africa Limited to request your assistance in facilitating the rebagging and supply of the remaining quantity of food, of Moshosho White Double Polished Saltex Indian Rice, 25% broken, which currently bears a best before date of December 2023. As per the approval letter, there's a reference to it, dated 15th of January 2024, Lamens Investment Africa Limited has obtained shelf life extension approval from the Food and Drugs Authority until the 30th of April 2024 for the aforementioned rice products. This extension aligns with regulatory standards and ensures the continued quality and safety of the products. However, despite the extension granted by the FDA, we have encountered challenges stemming from public perception, potential political backlash, negative media reportage, and the need for extensive explanation to certain state institutions such as Parliament. These factors have necessitated our request to repackage the remaining rice from the original sack, which bears the best before date of December 2023. We understand the importance of upholding consumer confidence and compliance with regulatory requirements. Therefore, we kindly seek your assistance in expediting the process of rebagging and supplying the remaining quantity of rice, ensuring that it meets all necessary quality and safety standards. Your prompt attention to this matter would be greatly appreciated. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require any further information. Okay, so so this is also coming from let me see. I have more. So Food Research Institute also brought this one out, and what Food Research said was that now when we talk about the things, the contamination, out of the research, it satisfies that the things were not detected. Okay, yes, good. So if you look at this, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, so aldrin not detected, parathion not detected. I was trying to mention them, but it will be difficult to. And the report, laboratory report, Lamens Investment, and it says that Quantitative analysis for aflatoxins, according to Georg Stroker and Eld Alklam, European mission, it says that these things were not detected. Okay. Now, this is what the FDA had to say. Application for shelf life extension for Moshosho White double rice. The Food and Drugs Authority acknowledges receipt of your letter dated 4th of December 2023 with regards to your application for an extension of the shelf life of Moshosho White double polish Saltex Indian rice, 25% broken. Kindly note that the analytical report on the food products you submitted from the Food Research Institute has been reviewed. It, however, does not include a report on moisture and mold, which are also critical in making regulatory decisions in solutions or situations like this. Samples of the products were also sent to the FDA laboratory for analysis, indicated at the time of testing to be wholesome. With regards to the best before dates as stated on the product, the FDA is, however, unable to grant your request for a shelf life extension since the authority cannot determine the shelf life of products. Shelf life determination is the responsibility of the manufacturer and must be based on the data obtained from the shelf life studies conducted on the product. So this is what the FDA said. Now, this is what the manufacturer also said. DSS was shipped on vessel, so the vessel number is there, the cargo mentioned here above. Quality and quantity was certified by an inspection company and final at load port Kandla in India. Rice was, as per standards of Indian exports, sound and loyal to the time of export in December 2021. So it was exported in 2021. Wow. This rice, under the condition for which we have no influence and is the responsibility of the buyer, if it was stored properly, that is in dry condition, regularly fumigated, etc., can easily or can usually be consumed within 3 years from the production. That is, should be consumed by December 2024. This is for your information only and does not involve any responsibility from your side. Okay, so from what they are saying, if it is well kept, that is dry condition, regularly fumigated, then it can be consumed up to 2024, December 2024. This is what the manufacturer is saying. So from what the manufacturer is saying, yes, the shelf life on their products might have said 2023, but it can still last up to 2024. So it still had a 1 year period, grace period.
So the question then comes to mind is that what was the
5 minutes to
what was the
point.
storage of those products since 2021? You see, let us not play politics with this. The NPP feel like anytime there are issues with regards to education, if you decide to raise it for the sake of the health of the case, then they come in, you are against free SHS and its quality or its betterment. But we must look at the issue at stake. I don't know whether Honorable's word is there or not. But if you are a parent and such issues are going on, you will definitely be worried. Because, Rosalie, it will be difficult for you to find any parent who will read on any product that the product is expired and will give an option to even consume it after reading. What it tells you is that no parent will cook such rice in their individual homes for their wars. The question is, why to our wars in school? Something we won't give our kids home should not be allowed to be consumed in schools. Why will you write for an extension of shelf life of the product? This is my first time of hearing that. I am telling you, if Honorable has, you people should tell me. This is my first time of hearing this. We must look into it and see how best we'll find solution to it. Because it is about the future of our kids. And we must be interested. This is not about politics. Anybody who would want to speak ill about Ablakwa can go ahead and do that. But for the sake of our children and the betterment of Ghana, we must all be interested in this matter.
But for the company, they said that it's possible to consume
on a condition. That's why I started by telling you that we should be told, or we must be told, how it was stored, whether it meets the standard as set by the manufacturer. Then we can now come to the conclusion that, yes, indeed, it can be consumed in the whole of 2024. If not, then it can't, because it came with a condition. Until the condition is fulfilled, what it means is that the food cannot be consumed. In short, Rosalind, and I will end with it. What we must know is that in 2016, before we leave power, the debt to GDP of this country
can we forget
stood
about
at
this
56%. Today, the debt to GDP is close to 80%.
Let's stick to...
And 80% cannot in any way be better than 56%.
Can we stick to...
No, I know, I am ending with this.
Let's stick to...
Rosalie, I am done with the main topic. I would have to end it.
No, we are not done. We are not done with it.
No, I'm saying that...
We are not done with
that. You gave me 5 minutes.
Yes, to finish... We are on the main topic, so please, let's not divert.
So after clearing that aspect on the fact that debt to GDP stood at 56%, under John Mahama, today it is close to 80%. There is no way any MPP can tell you that we borrowed more than the MPP. Besides, I can point fingers to a lot of infrastructure development under John Mahama.
Can we stick to our topic?
The MPP cannot. They have borrowed more than necessary, but cannot point to anything.
The long and short of this whole matter is that of these children.
This MPP government do not think about the future of the kids. And that is why we must stand firm with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. We have said we will come and do the free SHS, that is 1, embedded in the Constitution. 2, started under John Mahama in the year 2015-2016 academic year, continued by the MPP. We will come and make it better. I'm also happy that you cleared the air that double track has not stood for only 5 years. It has stood more than 5 years, as narrated by Honorable Ayepe. That statement is factually inaccurate. Free SHS double track has been in existence almost 8 years. And you told us it was a temporary measure, which was going to stand for only 5 years. That's why John Mahama is saying that we cannot continue with this. When he comes, he will make it better. In short, let the MPP be interested in this matter and take away the politics out of it. The fact that it is a political person who has raised the issue do not mean it is politics. 3 weeks to an election do not mean that we should close our eyes on issues like this. Maybe the timing per them may be wrong, but they should have done better. Because should we decide not to talk about it, and the children ends up consuming it, do you know the negative effect of it? So the timing for me is unnecessary. We must look at the content and the substance of the matter. And that is why all Ghanaians must be interested in this matter and not to do politics with this. Let's take the personality of Ablakwa out.
Thank you.
And look at the content.
Okay, so let me explain what, white rice, if stored properly, it has an almost indefinite shelf life. Whole grain rice, brown rice, example, the brown rice, due to the oil content in the attached bran and aluron and gem, brown rice is susceptible to oxidation and has a shelf life of 6 months. But you see, with the white rice, if it's kept properly, and we just don't know the condition within which it was kept.
That is it.
That's where the problem is. And of course, when the FDA said that we can't give you an extension of, shelf life, we can't. And that's where the issue came in, where they had to go rebag, and out of the rebagging, for me, I wish that I had seen the rice, to test the rice, to know for sure that the rice was or is indeed expired, or the rice is in good condition. Because the fact that it was rebagged doesn't really tell that, oh yes, it is in a bad condition. However, there are huge question marks to it. Why rebag? Why not put an expiry date on it? Why rebag it as a made in Ghana product and not leave it as an Indian product? These are the questions that are being asked. And these are the reasons why people are having red flags on this whole thing. That's the only thing. Anyway, Honorable IP.
Well, from what you have read to us and the document we've shown so far indicate clearly that, yes, the company wrote to Food and Drugs Authority asking permission for testing of the rice, rebagging, and also extension of best to its products. which is overdue. And from the response from Food and Drugs Authority made it clear that, yes, we can give you, have the test done and give you permission to the rebargain. But for extension of the due dates or the consumed dates, that one had to do with the manufacturer. So the company were giving the thumb up for the rebargain. That's why they did it. And two, Food and Drug Authority referred them to the manufacturer. For that, we have no authority to grant you the permission to extension of the time, that is the expiring date. So they wrote also to the manufacturer. And the manufacturer said, yes, for our product, you can keep it for 3 years and still be using it, but on a certain condition. And they give the condition on how the product should be kept or should have been kept. And if it is kept properly per their condition and your country food authority has tested and said that, oh, it is wholesome, you can consume it. But for me, what I want to suggest personally is that the office of the president should set up a committee to investigate this so that it will clear the minds of Ghanaians that, yes, the students were not supplied with unwholesome rice. Because in this case, we've seen a letter from Food Research Institute, we've seen a letter from Food and Drugs Authority, we've seen a letter from the manufacturer, and somebody who also alleged that, yes, the food wasn't or was unwholesome. So I will suggest that a committee should be set up to investigate to the bottom so that we know whether indeed somebody did something wrong that needs to be punished, or there's something that needs to be corrected, or if nothing has also been done, and indeed the procedure they use in testing the rice, in rebagging the rice, is within the framework of what the Food and Drugs Authority approved, then the case is settled. So we shouldn't leave it here. We must continue to investigate to know why these things are happening, because it is the wish of some people to make sure that the Free Senior High School will collapse, and they are doing everything within their domain to make sure that the Free Senior High School is not successful. So what I would suggest is that when this proper investigation is done by a committee, I don't want us to leave the investigation by the Food and Drugs Authority, because they themselves need to be investigated. Why there's a letter showing that they've granted repackaging without having a letter from the manufacturer. If indeed they saw the manufacturer letter before they give the approval for repackaging and all that.
No, but they didn't give approval for repackaging.
From the letter you read,
yeah.
I think they said yes for the extension of time. They cannot grant them.
Yes, they can't grant the extension of time.
But for repackaging, they did not prevent them from doing the repackaging. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the Food and Drugs Authority saw a letter from the manufacturer before they gave that approval. So let us set up a committee, an independent body. If we can get even a bipartisan committee from Parliament to investigate this matter, I think it will help all of us.
But right now, Parliament, we don't know if it will even be recalled before.
And even if you set up a committee, it's not be now, because we have only 2 weeks to election. If anything at all, it will be after the elections. Then but whatever it is, whether before or after, we need to get to the bottom of this case, so that if what is happening is true, then it will not happen again. If it is not true, then it is somebody's intention to tarnish a very successful program. You see, don't forget the fact that the Free Senior High School that has been implemented by Nana Akufo-Addo, per RSA showing that 83% Ghanaians thinks that the Free Senior High School is a good thing and need to be continued. So people were trying to work hard to bring the percentage down. That the more you criticize wrongly, you criticize the system, the more parents accept the system. And I think it is good. I've been an MP. When I was a member of Parliament, my children were enjoying Free Senior High School. After I left Parliament, my children are still enjoying Free Senior High School. And nobody, irrespective of how rich or poor you are, everybody will tell you that the Free Senior High School brings some relief into your finances. Whatever, even if it's one city that you are supposed to pay that you are not paying, you know. And looking at the inflation from the time parents were paying school fees to date, you could see that some parents might have paid about 5,000 to 6,000 cedis as school fees, in addition to the items that you buy for a child to go to school. So if that portion has been taken off your head, then it means it's a good policy. That is why parents are saying that, yes, I for free senior high school. And indeed, if those journalists going around interviewing people about the achievement of this government, why they should think that this government should continue to be in power after 2025, show clearly that one first thing that they mentioned is free senior high school. Looking at overcrowding and what we're talking about, that is why President on Thursday is handing over an additional 80 school structures to secondary schools. And we've done a lot of expansion.
Honorable, I really wish we'll stick to that topic again. So the issue here is that when I look at...
Are we not talking about...
No, we are not talking about... Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to understand...
And so it is important to let Ghanaians know that the free senior school, irrespective of what has happened, what is going on, it's still a good thing.
When Godwin was going into something else, I actually told Godwin that let's stick to our topic. Let's stick to our topic. Our topic is not to do with whether free senior high school is good or is bad. No, it's to do with the food. And that food has nothing to even do with government. So let's get it clear. There is a company that brought in food products, has nothing to do with government. The food product came in.
I disagree with you. I 100% disagree with you.
When you are making your point.
It is government that contracted the company to bring in the food.
Can I land?
So if the company has brought up unwholesome rice, it is the responsibility of government to check it. If government fails to check it, it goes against government. So if you tell me it has nothing to do with government, I disagree with you.
Okay, you can disagree with me. Let me make my points. You can disagree with me. That's your opinion. Well, so a company brings in food products. The food products has a problem from what is being told or alleged by Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. Now, we have seen the letters that were written between the company, because the letter didn't say government. The letter said a company called Lamens was written to FDA. FDA is government. Now, written to FDA, FDA said, I cannot extend your shelf life. Now, I just want us to have a logic conversation here. FDA says, I can't extend your shelf life. It can only be done by the company that you bought the product from. Now, you can probably go ahead and rebag. These people rebag it into Ghana rice. Again, the company bagged it into Ghana rice. I go back into the company. I will not go into the government. FDA is government. The company is not government. Company goes ahead to rebag it into Ghana rice. Out of the rebagging it, they decide not to put expiry date on it. And they serve to the children. As to whether the food was kept well, for it to be wholesome for the children to consume, we don't know. And so if we are able to stick to this nationalistic topic and not make it as if because we have 19 days to go cast our votes, so we go emotional about it, that I might lose votes because of this, it will help us because we are talking about the lives of children. And these children do not have party colors. There are NPP children there, there are NDC children there, there are CPP children there. Every child is in there and involved in it. Can we devoid of this whole political colors thing? And can we look at the health of these children? Very important. And it's about time that we sit on TV and we talk about issues that are nationalistic and not party colors. Anyway, that's all I'll say. That's all time will permit us. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for giving us the opportunity to bring you this segment.
You compare that to the fact that...
I want to say a very big thank you to Honorable... I want to say a big thank you to Honorable IFA and a big thank you to Godwin Ayaba Mahama. Thank you so much for being here. A big thank you to Franco once again. And to you that sent in all your messages, we are super grateful that you could send in your messages for us to have this conversation.